My name is Jennifer Ashley, and I went to Stirling, Scotland in fall semester of 2009. I'm a history minor with a film and media studies major. I chose Stirling because it is very strong in its film production courses, and I thought I didn't want a language barrier to hinder my experience, so I figured an English-speaking country would be best suited for me. And so, and then also the film advisors at the department also recommended that site. I received the Office of Study Abroad scholarship, and compared to living on campus here at KU, it was actually, I calculated it was a little less than, figuring tuition, room and board, and everything. It was less, and which made this program a lot more attractive than any other program. I took 2 classes. One was a television and media feature production course, and then a moving image course, both film courses. And one was actually considered a double module, which means it counts for, here it counted for 10 KU credits, so I only took 2 courses. But my film and media course met twice a week and with 1 weekly discussion, and my production course had 1 lecture, and then we also had a 3-hour lab. And so usually as projects got going, when we met for our lab for our production course, it was, we just usually worked on editing for however long we needed to. But it was fun on my moving image course. Every Friday we would watch a film, and a group of students and we would all go to our Friday film club, and which we'd watch, after we watched the movie, we went to the on-campus memorial union type thing, and we had to eat dinner, lunch. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever you want to call that, and we just ate, hung out, and figured out what we were doing for the rest of the weekend. I had classes Tuesday through Friday. Usually I went to class in the morning for my moving image lecture, and then I had about a 2-hour break, and then I went to my television feature production course, or just a lecture, which was not that long. But then after that I just chilled. I relaxed, went around, walked town, did groceries, whatnot, and just explored Stirling. I went with a group of, I think, about 4 or 5 other KU students. There were, in my classes, it was mostly, a high percentage of them were Scottish, but then there were some students I had one from Hungary, a couple from France. I'm trying to think what else. I think we might have I did have a German in my class as well, so it did have an international flair to it as well, and you got to kind of see how everyone's view of film and what they wanted to bring to the table came about. But I did feel like a student enrolled at Stirling for full time, just because even though, like I said before, there were 4 or 5 other KU students, I didn't see them as much. I did have 1 class with 1 KU student, but that was it. I didn't actually get the chance to travel a lot on the weekends, despite my having a 3-day weekend, just because I was in a production course, and sometimes it demanded me to go shooting on weekends, or just be in the editing booth and work on whatever project currently. But even though we went on shoots, it allowed me to visit the nice little nooks and crannies of Stirling. For example, we shot at this one restaurant, and it had this really neat courtyard to it that when you walked in, it made it feel like a secret garden. It was one of Stirling's precious gems, as everyone else called it. And it was just, you got to discover maybe not what was beyond the borders of Stirling as much, but just what Stirling had to offer. That being said, though, we did have a week-long fall break, and I got done with courses. Finals ended about December 10th, and I did have time over fall break to go to London for a couple days and visit other countries, and then I also went to Dublin for a couple days at the end of December and seeing what Dublin was like around Christmas time. So one was when it was Thanksgiving, and me and see, one, two, three of my friends. We went to the Westerton and Arms in Bridge of Allen, and I had my first experience with haggis. Even though it was like a chicken and haggis shepherd's pie, it was still haggis. And yeah, and then it had rained before and afterwards. We went puddle jumping in all the street puddles and got soaked through the bone. And then another night was towards the end of the semester, is we had an American cuisine night where I basically introduced them to some of the stuff that I make at home that they think is completely crazy. For example, peanut butter and celery. They didn't like, they were baffled and were very surprised that I would even think of combining the two. But it was very fun to see how the two compared, on how, like, I have peanut butter and jelly all the time, or peanut butter and celery, and they just didn't, yeah. Advice I'd give to someone to studying abroad would be do it. It might be scary, it might be may or may not be more than what you intended to spend, but it's worth it. People ask me if I'd do it again, and I say yes in a heartbeat. Towards the summer, I did talk to them a little bit, and they did have like a radio show that I talked to them through Facebook and request a song, and I could hear them over the radio saying, "This one's for Jennifer or Ashley, our friend from Kansas," and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun, but I wish I could. I'll probably try and keep in contact with them more. It's really, well, it's about the size of Lawrence, I would say. It has a lot of cobble streets, which make it very fun and interesting. And it has a castle, and when I looked out in my window of my flat, I could see the castle, and I could see the Wallace Monument. It was very pretty. I can't exactly say that there's a city here in the US that I've been to that looks like that, but it also did have that young feel. There was that college crowd.
It's just, you get to Stirling and you go to the university and you realise it's just like absolutely stunningly beautiful. It's so picturesque with like the trees and like the mountains, and there's like, you've got the Wallace Monument, you've got Stirling Castle. It's really historic. It's great nightlife, you know, with all the little pubs and everything, and everyone's really nice. Like, there's people that you can meet with your interests straight away, and it's got so much to offer for being such a small city. It is like really, really nice. It's got everything you need, and yeah, it's really historical. Yeah, it's much smaller. It's only about, I think it's 10,000 people. It's got a great sporting industrial department. It's just everything you need, really. As I say, like, everyone's really nice, and you get people that have got your same interests and everything, and everyone's up for like having fun, and you just meet some characters that you never thought you would meet. But yeah, and it's weird to think it's like on your doorstep when you get like this whole new world of Stirling. Yeah.
I say Stirling's the best because it is, like I said before, it is a clone of Lawrence. You get that college town feel, and you can walk on campus, you'll see people you know and people you've met, and you blend in very quickly, and you just get to know a lot of people and have a great experience. Other than that, it's not a very touristy town, so you get the real essence of Scotland, what it's really about. You get to enjoy the Edinburgh versus Glasgow debate, which city's better, and I can sit there and say, I'm a fan of Stirling, so take what you will. Where are you going? My name is Jennifer Ashley, and I studied abroad in Stirling, Scotland.